Okay guys, so right now I'm doing some more dandruff scratching on my son. I've worked my way around towards the front. You see there, just doing some dandruff removal, dandruff scratching. He has some pretty big flakes around the front, around his edges, as you can see. So again, just kind of working through that, readjusting as I need to. Just doing random parts there. So I reparted it towards the mid front. Trying to get a good grip and view myself. His scalp resembles mine. What do you guys think? Let's see. Just trying to comb his hair back, and I was catching some more flakes back there in the next row, which I hadn't got to yet. Just trying to figure out where to go. A lot of options. So make a small part there, start scratching the dandruff up, loosening those scales and flakes from his scalp. As you can see, very similar to my process and my scalp. Just scratching that up. Again, this is what I do before he gets his hair cut or before he washes his hair, which is a couple times a week. He has a nice, good, thick grade of hair. Nice and soft and thick. Just like mine, you would never know that, he had all this going on with his scalp unless I showed you, because you can't see it just at face value, just looking at him. You have to really get down into his scalp to be able to see that. So again, no certain order, guys, just kind of moving along. You see a thick patch there, flakes. He's peacefully sleeping, so he's not being hurt or anything like that. Right there, I'm just kind of feeling it to see the consistency, I guess, to decide if I use the pick or the comb. And I could use a comb, so I just went ahead and did that. I can comb it right up. Didn't need to use the pick to pick it up. It was loose enough to just comb it out with the comb, with the edge comb. So that's what I'm doing there. And I'm just looking at it right there. I like to look at the consistency, see if there's any kind of issues or, I don't know, color to it, but it's all normal. You can kind of see that patch there before I even scratch it. Sorry guys, I was adjusting and readjusting and trying to do a bunch of different things here, so I apologize for the start and stop. But I was just trying to work around him while he was asleep. So I had to do a lot of adjusting and readjusting myself to get into a comfortable position to film. Just a little pause, just more adjusting. I was actually looking at the screen on the camera to kind of navigate and kind of keep pace and keep track of where I was at. So we're still working our way around the edges, around the top, front. his front edges, right at his forehead. I was trying to grip his hair at the same time to kind of keep the part. Oh goodness, y'all. This was quite interesting. But I enjoy doing this for my son. I just kind of lost my part and just started scratching somewhere else, as you will see throughout the video. I'm readjusting myself, it looks like. Again, looks like I'm going to try and get back to that area, the previous section I was at. Y'all, it was so much. I didn't know where to start, where to stop. Every time I would start, I would see something else. So, yeah, I'm all over the place. But as long as we get the job done, that's what matters. So I switch here to a fine tooth comb that's a lot bigger to get it parted. And then once I have it parted, I go back in and lift the flakes up gently. As you can see, he's peacefully sleeping throughout the whole thing. So, of course, I've been gentle, and or else he would have let me know. So you can see a thick patch there I'm going after. Some of them were really tough, like how it is with mine. So I just kind of have to be careful. When I lift it up, reposition myself, and just comb those flakes out of his hair. After I've loosened him up from his scalp, I comb him out of his hair. Looks like I'm going to try and get a cleaner part there. Y'all, this is actually the first time he's let me like really film like this. So I wasn't expecting it. So I didn't have a plan. You see there, I'm feeling out. I see another patch there right at the top of his head. I don't know if that's the crown. I don't know what you call that. But yeah, right in the middle top. So I kind of do a zigzag motion to kind of loosen them up without like having to scratch directly on the scalp. I like to loosen it up first and then just comb it out of his hair strands. So that's there. And that's to not take any of his hair out. I hold the hair at the shaft and then release the flakes right at the ends of his hair. So it looks like I'm going to have another go at it. So of course, with it being a voiceover, I'm voicing back or talking back what I'm doing as I'm watching this with you guys. But when I was filming it, I was actually silent. I was quiet. He was asleep. Yeah, no distraction. So it really wasn't any talking throughout this whole thing. So I didn't want just background quiet noise playing. So that's why I did the voiceover to kind of explain what I'm doing. So I'm just scratching that up. Lifting those flakes up, lifting the dandruff. See there. Just going again where the comb is taking me. I think I had earphones in. I think that's what those strings are. Those white strings, I'm not for sure. I'm kind of feeling, and that part is crusty. It's the hard flakes. The good thing is they weren't just like so stuck to his scalp where they wouldn't come up. They were really loose flakes. And if I don't do this, guys, when I wash his hair, when he washes his hair, all those will still be there. And it's like having to wash it all over again. So I try and do this as much as I can before he washes it, before and after. And I check it again afterwards to try and catch any loose ones. I don't ever get 100% of it, but this process helps me get a good 90% of it, of the flakes up. So he's got a nice little patch there. I'm going to try and get up. Right there. See how easy his comes up? It just comes right up. And then just comb it out. Looking at it now, it looks like I'm kind of heavy-handed, but it looks like that, but I don't think I was. I mean, he didn't wake up or anything like that. The only time he moved was just to kind of reposition himself to sleep more comfortably. There's another big patch there. I'm going to zigzag it again to try and lift it up. There. So we got that up. It's quite a big patch there. So when I'm lifting it up too, I'm also, again, looking at the consistency of it, looking for anything that may look out of ordinary, if it's a different color, if it's, if it feels different. Just to see if it's anything out the ordinary, but it's not. But I still check that throughout the whole thing. Let's go to another part there. Y'all, if y'all could see the positions I was moving in, and I feel like at one point I was upside down. I mean, I was just, man. But we gonna get through this. There, I'm gonna get that up there. As you can see, some areas he has like thick patches, and other areas he just has loose flakes, just like dandruff, loose, regular, dry scalp flakes. Scalp is a combination of those big dandruff flakes and then just regular loose dandruff, dry scalp dandruff. So it looks like he has a nice little patch there. I want to get up. So I kind of just comb that. Every time I would comb it, it would go, even more flakes would come up from the part behind it or the area right around it. So that's another reason why it looks like I'm all over the place, because once I would get one area situated and comb it, more would come up than from just that one part in the surrounding areas, if that makes sense. So I would just move on and just try and get that. So I'm leaning over him. My back is like tore up hurting. But I was determined to get through this. Especially while I had the opportunity, because he doesn't let me, do it like this often. I kind of have to catch him while I can. But he was okay with filming all this. I guess it's more so to show y'all like how what I feel is like hereditary. My mom and my brothers have the same condition, and my son pretty much looks like he's on the same track. So I've started early with, scratching his scalp, showing him how to care for it and things like that. So we're moving around back towards the left front edge. But yeah, his whole hairline there around the edges, y'all, like he had a lot. I think primarily because that's where he sweats and stuff a lot and he wears hats. So, I mean, of course, that would be the most, and it gets the most sun and the most exposure to the sun and elements and things like that. Just like me around my edges, all around my hairline and edges is, I have the most flakes. Another little patch there. Sorry, my hand's in the way. I'm just scratching that up, combing it out. Parting it to another section in that area. Excuse me, guys. Do another little scratch there. You see, as soon as I comb it, it opens up to another area. And I just go there. Nice braided hair, nice and soft. I love this hair. And I really try and normalize this for him so he's not embarrassed or, I mean, he sees the flakes and I'm sure it kind of bothers him, but I think this is, well, I know this is why I talk openly with him about it and, you know, do this with him, even not for filming, but just in real life. I talk about it with him and show him and teach him and how to care for his hair and his scalp because, you know, I have the same thing. And it just kind of normalize things and destigmatize the whole, you know, flakes. You got flakes, you dirty. Some people think that, but that's not the case. He just has some scalp conditions. And we just gonna work through it and manage it. Show him how to moisturize his scalp and grease his scalp and things like that. I don't know if he'll remember all of it. Maybe it'll come to him once he's older, but I still do it anyway. It's another thick scale right there. Came right up. Like I said, as you can see, guys, his comes right up. And I'm just kind of analyzing it again. Make sure there's no abnormalities. No, it's a regular flake. I'm feeling it, making sure, you know, see what the consistency is like. Looking at it close for any off color or anything like that. And it's all normal, just dry scalp and dandruff. Just kind of adjusting myself here. Y'all see my back brace I got on? Lord. I be wearing my back brace all the time, especially when I'm cleaning or having to bend over or lift stuff, often doing laundry. I keep that thing on. It makes me feel so old, but look, it helps. I'm going to use whatever helps. So just clearing that out. To be continued, guys. There. Let's get that to be continued.